Extreme Masters Dallas. We're here with ELiGE, and he's going to talk us through the most exciting update in recent times in CS2. We've got the new Vertigo ELiGE. First thoughts on this map after seeing some of the changes? Are you excited? Are you happy about it?
I mean, I'm excited that they're doing something because I think
Yes.
Vertigo is definitely the second worst map in the pool. Inferno's still the worst for me.
Oh, Inferno's okay,
but
okay.
I think that they might have overdone it. They might have overcooked. I think that they did a lot at the same time, so I would have maybe wished that they did just one or the other type of thing. But I'm happy that they're trying to change something because I think most people would agree that it's stale.
Yeah, so we look at the map here. This shows some of the viewers some of the big changes, right?
Yeah.
So you've got a whole new hole in the wall.
Yeah.
So here, what are you going to be calling this? Because I remember you were one of the early adopters of call-outs on Ancient, so
Yeah.
I'm going to rely on you to give us a name for this, ELiGE.
Well, we wanted to call it Mini, kind of like on Nuke. We were thinking about calling it Big, and we already have
Big
we have
or
this
Mini,
called
yeah.
Empty,
Okay.
so we call this Empty, we call
Alright.
this Arch, and then we call this Mini. So this is what we're.
But this is like the biggest one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like it.
And it's just nicer to say. Like we were saying Mini or Big, but Mini just sounds nicer.
Yeah, it rolls
to
off
say.
the tongue a little easier,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah,
How do you think this is going to change the gameplay?
It's gonna change everything, honestly. Like we're even still trying to figure out right now, like where do we even plant? Because you can't plant necessarily at this position if you just smoke here. So if you just smoke, this is a very easy, spam spot. They could, okay, well, if it was good, yeah. You could just very easily spam this. So it's very tough. I think that you kind of have to just like push one of the spots, like either you take complete control of this, where you throw like 2 mollies here, so you molly here and you molly here. And then you just know that you can plant like here, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe it's something like that, but
Planting is going to be really hard because like even when you were planting here before the changes, you could get nade stacked, you get mollied off the plant. But now you can get naded still, but you also get shot through the smoke. So.
Yeah, you have to consider everything that was a threat before, but now there's just more.
Add more threats. Yeah.
And it was already like hard to get plants down sometimes. So yeah, I think that there's just a lot of stuff to really deal with, and the timings have even changed because they've changed the spawn points. The spawn points are something like here, 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 and here. So there's like these 5 spawn points. So that means that all of the timings at A have also changed.
Yeah, so the T's can get up, ramp faster, the smoke maybe not going to pop in time. Right, okay.
Yeah.
So I think the biggest criticism people have had of Vertigo over the years is it's kind of boring when you just execute A, span through the smokes, and maybe you lose like 2 players and then retake, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that's going to change the meta at all of the changes that we have here?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. There's going to be crazy stuff, and I think it's going to be really hard for teams because they haven't really had enough time to. There's been 0 time actually. Like everyone was like on a plane when they were like coming over here. So everything's going to be really on the fly. It's going to be really messy CS in my opinion. And yeah, I think that just see who can cook the fastest. Like we might see like some type of smoke wall here to go to B. What everyone's going to be thinking is A is obviously this big threat. But when everyone knows that A is a big threat and it's really hard to deal with, that means that B is even weaker. Because if you try to compensate by having a lot of people towards A, then obviously B becomes weaker just intrinsically because of that.
Let's take a look at the new sort of catwalk on the side of the map. This was something that I didn't realize was a thing with the original Valve update, right? Because they showed a picture of the wall, everybody's excited about that, and then suddenly you got this huge catwalk on the side of the map. This feels like one of the longest range fights you're going to get in Counter-Strike. If you've got a player peeking from sandbags up to here, so.
Yeah, it's probably not as long as long on Dust 2, but I think that, this is what I was saying before, I think that they should have done one or the other. Because I think if you do one of these, then like we might have had something that would have been more interesting for plants, because you could definitely figure out stuff where you're getting close up here and then you're asking for a flash from like your teammate, like whatever it is here.
Okay, yeah.
So you could have figured stuff out and like made it more interesting.
Do nades from here, this position off the metal top as well.
Yeah, I'm sure you can like hide like some flash here where you're doing like some jump throw and you're peeking for yourself. So I think that we could have had enough different things that were going to be happening from this patch if you just did one or the other. But now with it combined, now I think it just seems crazy. It just seems crazy to me that
well, at least
so much
they added
stuff.
Dust 2, so there isn't another map to learn. So this is the only thing you got to work on. But looking at this catwalk, how do you think that's going to change sort of the execution? You see like the hole in the wall, the Mini as you're calling it. How do you think this catwalk's going to change things?
Well, I think that most likely people are gonna molly. So they'll molly like back here, and then you'll know that nothing's here. And then as you're coming in and take the site, whether you're doing just like the solo smoke, so potentially we'll see like solo smoke because now you have to use a lot of smokes for stuff, and we'll see maybe a molly here. And as we're getting like flashes, we're just throwing like flashes up here. We're swinging. We have like most people coming up to the site like normal, and then whoever goes sandbags, it's maybe his job to clear out this whole area. So maybe we'll just see something like that. I think it'll be very important to clear it, but I think we'll see a lot of times in this tournament that people do not clear it.
Yeah. Okay. So we have, you know, of a default usually would be one player B, one player mid, and three up working up the ramp. How do you think this is going to change defaulting? Because the mid player can't really use his nades, right? Because if he needs to come back, or the B player needs to come back, because you need so many smokes to execute. How do you feel like that's going to change up just the defaulting on Vertigo?
On T side, you're saying?
Yeah, on T side, yeah.
Well, like I said, I don't really think too much changes for like the T side in terms of the beginning of the round. Like all of the early round fights are the same, aside from this ramp guy kind of getting nerfed on CT side. So it'll be a little bit easier for the Ts to take ramp. But kind of like what I was saying before, all of these changes at A that makes it more difficult for the CTs at A with all these new openings, that makes mid and B weaker, just because people have to compensate for it. They'll have to have like some type of setup where they're dealing with this new weakness at A. And because of that, you know, we might see more people going mid B. We might see people do this, maybe the smoke wall thing that I was showing. This is just, I don't even know if people can use this, but you know, maybe we'll see something. Yeah, maybe we'll see something. Maybe we'll see people do more mid to B stuff, and because you know we're going to see more 3As. So if we see more people doing 3A, one mid, one B, you know, that obviously makes mid and B weaker. So I think that we'll just see more stuff like that because A is so weak that, you know, this entire side of the map gets opened up.
Yeah, so which side do you think is going to be more difficult to adapt to than the CT side? Will be struggling a little bit more with the changes?
Yeah, I think so. I think that CT side is going to be a lot harder because I think that you have to problem solve and like figure out solutions for the stuff that's happening on T side. Where on T side, you can game plan exactly like what you want to do. You can game plan, you know, like what type of pressure you want to put at A, what the executes are going to look like. Yeah. But CT side, you don't really know what the other team's going to be doing right now. One, because of info, and two, because all these teams are going to have so many different ideas for how they want to deal with this stuff.
Have you got any nade lineups already, or you don't want to show those?
No, not right now. We do have nade lineups for the new stuff that we want to do, but you know, don't want to be helping the new teams as much as possible.
Exactly.
There's limited time for everybody.
We'll see it in the tournament. We'll see it in the tournament.
Exactly.
Yeah. That was the Vertigo update with ELiGE here at the Intel Extreme Masters. We're going to kick it off and get back into the show.